we have the Executive Director of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, Mr. Ray Topasna. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everyone.
Let's just start with this quarantine facility at the airport. Now, this is something that you said it had come up in a board meeting.
Yeah, I was just briefing the board that we had discussions with public health on two separate projects. We proposed to build a passenger quarantine facility at the airport. It's something I had proposed back in 2013. It didn't get any traction, unfortunately, but maybe now's the time to build it. The other project we've been talking to public health about is trying to give them more capacity by giving them a BSL or a biosafety level 3 lab. And unfortunately, the environmental lab up in Derrida was built back in 2016. I believe they cut the ribbon then. And even today, there's major issues with that lab. It's not CDC certified at BSL 3 level. So, we'd like to help public health get it to that point and hopefully give them some more capacity.
With the federal monies, or how would you guys be able to pay for the quarantine facility at the airport and then, the upgrades of the lab?
Well, we can't use our own money, but we
Right.
do have the technical expertise. So what we've offered to them is if they're able to find the money either through CARES Act or FEMA, we wouldn't mind taking the lead in getting the bids out and overseeing the construction to the point where both facilities are CDC certified.
If you could, Ray, give me some visuals to work with. When you talk about a quarantine facility up at the airport to be built, like where would you think it would be? How big of a facility? Are we talking, beds and showers, like the Japan airport, or what?
Exactly. You know what? The top 20 airports in the U.S. and Guam's airport is actually ranked in the top 20 in terms of international arrivals. The top 20 airports have the capability, have the capacity to say, for example, if a flight was coming in, and I know a flight came in the other day where they had to quarantine the entire aircraft.
Right.
We should have the capacity to do that, and unfortunately we don't. That's what I had proposed back in 2013. Of course, in all fairness to the powers that be at the time, nobody anticipated COVID-19.
Yeah.
Today we should stop talking about it and let's move forward and try and build this, and as well help public health get a BSL 3 level lab so they have more capacity. So that's where we're coming from. We can't use our own money. We're restricted using our own funds, but we certainly have the technical expertise to build it.
Why did we build a lab that was not what did you say, BSL certified?
It was intended to be biosafety levels 2 and 3 certified, and unfortunately, and I'm not going to speak to the previous administration, but or why they didn't get it certified. But when we took the helm, when the governor actually toured the facility, it wasn't compliant to what it was intended to be, and we spent, I think, $2.6 million of Department of Interior funds, and it was never certified. It's going to take another $1 million, we believe, to get it to that point, and all we're doing is offering to help to assist them.
Do we have to pay back the federal money that we received to build that lab?
No, I don't believe so. Again, I wasn't the executive director at the time.
Okay.
They have a building and it's fully occupied. It's just not able to test at the capacity we'd like them to test.
Right. What about, I wanted to switch over to Guma Trankilidat. I know that there's scheduled testing for residents there today,
Correct.
right? Is that still going forward?
Yes, it's at 9 a.m. today. In fact, when I'm done with this, I'm going to head down there and try and encourage all the residents, hopefully, to test it. Last time there was a positive and we had them tested. We didn't get 100%, but we got, I think, about 38 of the 49 residents tested, and most recently, and I'm probably not supposed to say this, but most recently we had another positive. So that's the reason why we requested for a second round of testing.
So this is the second positive case at Guma Trankilidat. When was the first case? Because we were never told about this.
I believe back in April.
And what happened when you guys had that positive case back in April?
We had a positive case, and the individual was immediately, and we had to oversee this. The person was immediately transported to a isolation facility so we can protect the other residents down there. We've recently had another positive, and we're having everybody tested. Hopefully, everybody this time around. And I'll be there. I'll get tested as well. I got to lead by example. Hopefully everybody follows suit.
Is there any indication how this second positive occurred?
We have no clue. I'm leaving it to public health to do their contact tracing.
Are people allowed to go and visit people over there at public health? I mean, at Guma Trankilidat, or did the individual that tested positive? It's one of the residents, right? It's not a staff member.
Correct.
So,
well, what we've done is we've closed down the common areas to include the laundry facilities, the social hall, so that they're not able to congregate. I'm sure they're not happy about that, but we have to take precautionary measures. And then aside from those common facilities, they have their own independent quarters. So we believe the risks are low, but nonetheless, we want to get everyone tested so that we can sleep good at night.
right. How old is this individual?
I believe maybe in his 50s.
50s. Oh,
I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that, but
No, you're not. Yeah, you can say that.
The first person that had tested positive, are they back at Guma Trankilidat?
yes, they've been cleared to return.
And the second one, are they at the government isolation facility?
And no, I believe he may be at the hospital.
I see. Okay.
Ray, what was the reaction from the residents, back when we had this positive in April and now?
Well, keep in mind, as long as we restrict them from the common areas, they're pretty safe. They're within their own units.
Yeah.
There's bathroom facilities. There's kitchens. I mean, they have everything they need. It's the common areas that we had to cordon off and make sure that they're not congregating. So, we feel we've done everything humanly possible to ensure their safety. The next step was getting everybody tested.
Right.
But yeah, I'm pretty confident they're okay.
I mean,
So nobody else is exhibiting signs or symptoms.
Not that we're aware of.
Right. I mean, that's tough, Ray, because obviously, I've been down there, and they like to talk and come out in the morning and drink their coffee, and then obviously them being Manamco, that interaction is pretty key. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
let me get in here, guys, real quick. Hey, to our viewers on KUAM TV8, good morning on you. We are KUAM FM in Hagatna, Guam. Thanks so much for watching. The link on the Breeze 93.9. Remember, we'll do it again tomorrow morning on KUAM TV 11.
Yes.
6 a.m. to 8 a.m. If you guys want to jump over to our KUAM News Facebook live feed, of course, we're also on the Breeze 93.9 FM on the radio. We're currently interviewing GHURA Director Ray Topasna, talking about a couple positive COVID-19 cases, one in April and the other one more recently at Guma Trankilidat. So thank you to our viewers on KUAM TV 11. We'll see you on the Facebook live feed. Hasta Jaws.
Ray, when did this individual, the second individual, test positive?
I believe it was 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, maybe.
Do you know if he had family member that was visiting him?
Again, we're not privy to that because we're not part of the contact tracing team, but I wish we were.
Right.
Ray, so in PCOR 1, are there any restrictions other than closing the common areas that you also put in place at Guma Trankilidat?
Well, of course, we've completely, aside from limiting the common areas, they're not allowed. I mean, we've completely banned any kind of activity, right? So they can't. The only ones that can visit them are their immediate family and those that are authorized, caregivers. Aside from that, there's very strict regulations down there. But as far as the overall GHURA operations under PCOR 1, we've restricted any in-person interviews and any walk-ins, but all essential functions continue to move forward. So,
Right. Ray, let's because I know there was a couple other things you wanted to touch on before we let you go.
yeah, our audit.
Yeah, there you go.
First time in 30 years. This is our best audit to date. We had a unqualified opinion on financials and a unqualified or unmodified opinion on our on 4 major programs. That is unprecedented. We've had a history of audit findings. The audit, our team here addressed 24 prior year audit findings since last year. My hat's off to the career staff. I think we've done a good job of trying to turn our image around after all the chaos of the past. But, it's the best audit we've had in 30 years. We're proud of it, and we hope to continue to have clean audits moving forward.
Ray, I know that you're also a part of the Interagency on Homelessness, correct?
Correct.
Have you heard anything on the results from the testing of homeless people that are up at the global dorms? The results?
I haven't, but if I can just share with you that there's so much progress, and we actually meet weekly. We have another meeting at 11 o'clock today, so I have a 9 o'clock Guma Trankilidat testing. Then right after that, I got to Zoom into the Interagency Council meeting at 11. But basically, as you know, we have, I believe the latest report was about 80 some individuals up at the shelter, at the emergency shelter. As well, GHURA is moving forward with, and I've been giving the council weekly updates on this. GHURA is moving forward to try and find more permanent housing for the residents that do qualify. And so we have as many as 5 that we should be providing some kind of transitional housing to, and hopefully that transitional housing will proceed towards permanent housing. But 5 persons with disabilities will be able to house within the next few days. We're just awaiting some documents from DISIT to get their proper certification. Of the 5, 2 of them or 3 of them, I believe we already have identified a facility. So, it's not just providing emergency shelter in connection with COVID, but trying to get them a more permanent, permanent housing so that, we can protect them from not just infectious disease, but just from the environment. So,
we did speak with the Salvation Army just yesterday, I believe. And they talked about the partnership with the GHURA in providing this rapid rehousing for families and individuals over at the Global Dorm.
And we also have a whole bunch of stuff coming down the pipe. We're just waiting for final approval, and we might get that by as early as this Friday, and I'll report that to the council today. But we have a mortgage relief program in partnership with the Guam Housing Corporation. So as many as 200, a little over 200 plus mortgage holders from primarily low-income families will be able to cover about 3 months of their mortgages. So, there's just a whole bunch of stuff, but I can't. HUD gets upset at me when I talk too much about it in the media, and they haven't actually signed off. But that's one of the things that we're doing with our CARES Act money.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to get you back on when you're able to disclose how people can take advantage of that. So thank you so much, Ray. I know you got to go, so stay safe.
Hey, keep us posted on the testing and all that stuff, man.
Will do.
Okay, thanks, Ray.
Bye, Ray.
Okay, wash your hands. 8:06. We'll take a short break, and then we're going into quarantine. Okay.
And do some news.
Yeah, and we'll do some news. It's 8:06 again. This is the Link on the Breeze 93.9. Good morning.